get your way by charming those around you. As hard as I try to run away, I can't escape the truth. You keep me waiting in this boiling stew. And now my heart's breaking just at the
What's up, bitch? No. How are you guys? How are your pets? Have you sniffed your pits lately? Do you need deodorant? Better check. It's Rosa Parks' birthday today, you guys. How awesome of a day to be making a video, you know? It's also Black History Month, isn't it? Yes, it is. As an ally. Actually, gotta talk about Nina, but that was no correlation to me saying any of that. I'm sorry. Oh, welcome to my channel. Duh, I always forget to say that. It's me, your girl, baby girl, if you're new here. I do a lot of videos on Gypsy Rose right now, but mostly commentary talking about shitty people. And Gypsy is a shitty person, so I want to talk to you guys today again about this bullshit between creators. What's going on? Like, I don't understand. It's just getting worse, you guys. I mean, I know that Nina literally has a target on her back, according to her in her video, because she is a black woman. And she claims to be that she's incredibly passionate about justice, which she is, especially for Nick Godejohn and Dee Dee Blanchard. She claims that Nick is an autistic man who was receiving a permanent disability check and he has a low IQ. She claims, and he does need and rightfully deserves to have justice in many ways. I mean, I believe that as well. I totally agree with that. You know, if she wants to claim that to be her reasoning, then she needs to walk these YouTube streets and those TikTok streets with a little bit more reserve. You understand?
The date that they said the baby was born. They told me.
Of course, she was an integral part in a lot of our.
We are tired of y'all praising this mommy Rose Blanchard story. Do you know her real story, or it's the story that you...
Based on poor representation and a diminished mental capacity. Now he's like, okay, he appears okay with that part of it, but the part that...
This is doing too much. You have played with Ryan's heart. That's the issue.
I'm saying. I mean, she claims that she's so patient. Well, let's spin the block, you guys. I mean...
They induce you at 36 weeks. And that's
Nina,
coming from a mother of 2 kids.
Well,
under
it wasn't supposed to be. All right, dude. You really dropped this fucking girl on, dude. I swear to God.
Wait, wait, hold on, guys. Hold on. I know.
I didn't know you had a vagina. Oh, and
First of all, I mean, if you were obviously you're too fucking stupid to realize that she wasn't induced at 36 weeks.
Ken, he's a gentleman. Come on, bro.
So she was supposed to be induced at 38 weeks.
And you've always been a liar. So why would you come on here telling the truth now? You're a liar.
Calm down. No, you're a fucking liar.
Just like Cowboy Bear, you were bent over with Cowboy Bear.
Yeah,
you came up here and lied.
Right?
All right, guys, hold on one second. Calm down. Let's relax. Let's relax.
You've been lying. You're a liar.
First of all. Second of all, she would have been induced at 38 weeks if you can do your fucking math right, but you can't because you're fucking stupid. So she was born at 36 weeks, like I said, 2 weeks earlier than the induction date. So yeah, get your math right.
Let's be respectful, Ken. Come on. No need to throw that.
You're actually telling me to be respectful? I swear.
Yeah, but I didn't know that you had a coochie because you're up here speaking to women about childbirth.
That's
Okay,
Okay?
so
So
again,
you need
you
to act
are
like
even
you got
listen.
some sense.
Let Ken and
You're
Nina talk because I
okay.
think
Act
Well,
like
we
you
gotta
got some sense. You're out
okay.
here
So first of
acting
all,
like you're a
again,
woman.
like
Yes,
I
I know
said,
you act
she's
like a woman
okay. She keeps
sometimes,
raising
but
her
yes, you're
voice,
hold
not
which is the
one.
kind of person
on.
that she
We don't
is.
want
She's a
him to rage
loudmouth,
quit.
lunatic, loser.
well,
So she
wait,
says that
Ken, back
no
up.
baby would have
The
been induced at
loser's not going to
36
get you.
weeks. Okay,
Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
talking to you right
Yeah,
now.
all I'm gonna
So
do
she
is
said that the
rag
baby
your
would,
ass when I
okay,
get off of
she
here.
keeps
Play with
talking. She
me.
keeps talking. All right. So like I said, she said that the baby would induce it at 36 weeks. She wasn't induced at 36 weeks. She was born at 36 weeks. She would have been induced at
I
38
So
weeks.
she was
yeah.
But
induced
again, you
earlier.
can't critically think.
Yeah.
Listen, Pitocin
No.
is inducing. Pitocin is inducing, but that's what we're talking
You
about.
don't
You
even
do
know what
not
you're
know
talking.
what
No,
you're speaking about.
I know
They
Okay.
don't
exactly what
give
I'm speaking about.
Pitocin
You
unless
Hold
are
they're
on.
Hold
absolutely
on,
inducing
All
hold
you.
Hold
wrong.
on.
right,
Let me talk for a minute.
calm down,
Here's what
everybody.
here's what happened. Everyone calm down for a minute. Here's what I think happened.
Then I thought, well, gee, I can't be the only one that sees it this way, right? And then I decided to go on Reddit. Well, girl, you fucked up. You understand? With that, what you did, what you just watched. You fucked up. You did. You did. They literally have a question on there, and I went on it to see what the answers were to this question. Because it was, who do you think is the most overrated Gypsy Rose creator? And I was like, oh, I gotta go and see. And you guys, while scrolling through, I went through pages of them saying Nina and Nina for this reason, Nina for that reason, Nina. And then every once in a while I would get some Ivy Rose knows, and some people would say, oh, Toddy won skip. There wasn't many that said that though. And then even one of them said King Morbid. Wow. But you know who they did not say? Well, I'll just let you think about that for a second.
A few moments later.
Oh. Who did they? Oh, they didn't say they didn't say Baby Gal in there anywhere. So, bitches. Oh yeah. So moving on, then we've got the squabbles between Toddy One Skip and Fancy, and well, I've got some thoughts on that too. I mean, and on my channel, my thoughts matter. Your thoughts matter. My thoughts matter, and together we matter together. Wait, that don't make no fucking sense. Wait, does it? I don't know. And those who we say don't matter are assholes. So, there. Toddy One Skip has made video after video against Fancy, which, to each their own, whatever. She feels how she feels, and she proves Fancy's jealousy. She really does. She says a lot of really good things in what I'm about to show you. I mean, and then the commentary is from 1980 millennial or something. Yeah. 1980 millennial, and then Toddy One Skip, and I'm a 1983 millennial, so I hate 1980 millennial. Well, actually, it starts at like 1981, doesn't it, or something, or 1980? I don't know. Whatever. I'll Google it and put it up here for you guys. Millennial years start here and end here. Sorry, I got an itch. My grandma used to call it a bite. She would say, oh, I got a bite. Anyway, just like Nina can be somebody that I love entirely, and Nina can be somebody that I disagree with entirely. Sometimes it's like that with Toddy One Skip for me as well. That's why I kind of like stay off in the outskirts of things, because I observe and I learn people, and I try to learn the story behind everything, you know what I mean? So that I know what's going on before I go ahead and like freak out. Then there are times, and with Fancy too, and that's okay, because that's just humanity.
It looks like is
Fancy got upset that she brought information, which I always gave her credit for. I just gave her credit for videos that I just put out last week. There were 2 videos that I mentioned within the last 30 days, okay? Because I'm not good with time, apparently. Where I mentioned, there were recent videos where I mentioned what Fancy had brought out, that Fancy brought out the micro deletion. That was the first time I heard about it. I have given Fancy credit since what happened in Chillicothe. This is my opinion, and I've been around the block a few times, so I'm allowed to have it. Fancy got upset that more content creators became more popular than her. I think there was an issue with Nina. Nina's got a lot more subscribers. Nina's a lot more. Here's the thing. Nina's more well-liked, Fancy, and that's on you. That's on you. That's her presentation. You know, I haven't seen Nina go off on any of her followers. I have seen Nina go off on content creators that have gone off on her. If it's anything different, this is what I've seen. I am friendly with these content creators as I was initially with Fancy. But then I just didn't like the way Fancy started yelling at people that helped her fund a trip.
What Toddy just said there is exactly right, and one of the huge problems that people have with Fancy that have been watching her for long enough, we know that she will go off and scream at people who are actually trying to help her if it's not help in the right way or if she perceives it wrong, and then suddenly you're one of her stalkers. You're a part of them. It's always us against them, and somehow Fancy's always the victim.
And because of that criticism, Fancy gave me back money that I didn't ask for. She was disappointed in me because I didn't support that behavior. And all of a sudden, everything I'm doing apparently is wrong. That's fine. Don't tell me that I don't check my facts because I'm not a fact-checking channel. I don't have the time to go through these sources, and I have told people I can't. I've gotten emails and I've said, I'm sorry, I don't have time to. Nina's saying, so what do I need to check? Where do I need to check my sources? I thought I checked my sources with you when I told people to donate money to you, and I was wrong because you know what? It wasn't for the right thing. And then you turned around and you yelled at people. Your followers. If your followers like that, that's fine. I don't think my followers like me yelling at them, and if they do, they picked the wrong channel because I'm not going to yell at them.
And that right there is why I like Toddy. She respects her followers. She's kind to them. She made a mistake and she called out herself and put out the truth. Good job, Toddy.
When we disagree, I'm not going to yell at them. And you spew your shit. And that's what's going on here. Just look at how many people you've worked with that no longer want anything to do with you in the short amount of time that I've been a content creator. And by the way, not a reporter, not somebody that needs to check facts, because I always give credit to where I got the information from. Content creators, yes, we need to unite, but we don't need to have knives at each other's backs. And my problem with what you said is that you turned around. We saw the whole incident that happened in Chillicothe that you shared with us. There was never a kidnapping. There was never this. There was never that until there was a lawsuit. And then you said Sarah kidnapped you. But you showed us everything. You told us the good time you had. You never mentioned kidnapping.
Toddy's absolutely right there, and although it's not at all the same, a funny comparison to make is the fact that Fancy has absolutely no tolerance with the fact that Gypsy Rose apparently, if for the people who believe that she was abused, didn't know she was abused that whole time it was happening. But Fancy wants us to believe that she was kidnapped and she didn't know it as she vlogged it for us all, and then she later realized it was kidnapping when her and Sarah started having issues and she realized she needed to get out of those criminal charges.
As a matter of fact, you kept reaching out to Sarah, and Sarah wrote back to you and said, I'm in the hospital.
Tottie's right again. Not long after the Chillicothe trip, after they got back, before Fancy had started saying she was kidnapped, people were asking her in her live about Sarah, and Fancy started going off on people, telling them that they had no business asking about Sarah, and they had better not bother Sarah because she was in the hospital, and Fancy was protecting her.
And don't get upset because you're asking content creators to unite. That doesn't include me. So it's not all content creators. It's just who you want.
That's correct, Toddy. If you disagree with Fancy at all, she thinks you're a stalker. You're some sort of conglomerate against.
Toddy One Skip is now doing what I always warn people against, and that's to be careful out there on these streets, especially if you're one that doesn't do much research. And she does state in a lot of her videos that she is not one to do much research, but with that comes the responsibility of then, if you are going to go hard about something and it's not something that is factual, or say it's just not something that you should be speaking like that on. I mean, just make sure to do your extensive research before you get in on there saying some things, because those things are going to backfire on you. And I hate to see Toddy go through any kind of bullshit. But she keeps riding hard for Sarah, and you know, that's about to start to bite her in the asshole.
Right? Not the drama of the case. And this person pops up and starts saying something about, Natasha, what do you think about Fancy doing, I forget how she said it, pressing kidnapping charges on poor Sarah. Immediately I knew, only person talking about Pink Cat's going to be Pink Cat, because nobody else was talking.
Nobody gives a damn.
And I was thinking, that can't be her literally referring to herself in third person. So I just kind of sit back and watch. And she says it. Nobody responds. Nobody says anything. Well, then she does it again. So I tag it and I say, good for her for pressing charges. Next thing I know, she's up in the box. And as soon as she popped up in that box, I hit record. Now, I was expecting her to be herself, but she become this little Southern belle and just changing her voice. I mean, we all teased Fancy about when she was on Natasha's panel talking very Southern, right? We all teased her, and she owned it. And she said, that when she's with someone that talks Southern, that yes, she does. She owned it. So Sarah, as soon as it was, poor Sarah, yeah. So as soon as it was over, I hadn't talked to Sarah in, Brandy, I'm sorry, how long? Over a month or longer. It had been a while. So she had been messaging me, and I've just been ignoring her. Like I said, when I'm done, I'm done. So I messaged her and said, something about her voice and doing what she was doing, and that I had nothing to say to her until now. And why was she over there acting in third person and disguising her voice? And that the questions that she asked Natasha was so weird. Like, everything about it was weird. And we all know Natasha. She don't have to say a word. She can say it all with her face, right? Just don't even have to say a word, just her face. So I'm just sitting there just dying rolling. And she's like, well, I'm going to try to get this right. Well, is there anything else you would like to share? And Tasha's literally like, no, that's pretty much it. I guess that's about it, And she's like, oh, so that's all you want to share with us? Well, what else did y'all talk about? I mean, it was so weird. It was crazy. Well, I got a message back from Sarah, and she gave me 5 different reasons why she wasn't trying to disguise her voice. Because I told her, I was like, it was really bad. Like, you didn't fool anyone. She said, I wasn't trying to disguise my voice. But the ultimate reason why she sounded the way she did was because she's on oxygen now. Okay? So.
Bullshit. Sorry. Go ahead.
She's on oxygen now. So did y'all know that oxygen changes your accent? I didn't know that. It's good to know. So then I'm just doing my thing yesterday, and my phone starts burning up, and people are telling me that she's on this Pearl page who I've never heard of. And so I clicked over there, and I had went to after hours. So by the time I got home, because I left my phone here, time I got home, I guess there was about 5 minutes left. I click in and see that she's on the panel, and she's talking fine. So she must not have had her oxygen on. Because, I mean, she's just ranting with everyone and just going back and forth and how she's going to tell her story. Well, then people are telling me that Now, I didn't see this part. This part is literally what someone told me that was said, was that she's telling everybody that me and her were good. So then I'm pissed off again. I was trying to leave it alone. Then I'm pissed off again because no, we're not good. We are absolutely not good. You lied to me. You lied to me. You put me on this panel and lied to me. So we go back and forth again, messaging. And she has the nerve to say, and Brandy can back me up on this because the whole time I kept saying, Sarah, you need to be quiet. You don't need to say nothing. You don't need to be on panels. You don't need to be in people's comments. I sleep at night. She stays awake at night. Every morning, was I not getting up, Brandy, putting out fires?
Every day.
I would go to sleep and I would be like, I had talked to Harley, I had talked to Bree, I had talked to other people trying to give Sarah the chance to take accountability and let each other, let them explain to her why they did what they did and let her explain to them, like everybody be able to talk. And I would go and do these things and open doors for her slowly to take accountability. And I'd wake up to the next morning to everybody being pissed off. And I'd be like, what is going on? I'm going here and putting out fires and here trying to say, please give her a chance. Please, just hear her out. And then I had my inner circle.
How are you doing?
My inner circle was literally pissed. All of them.
How are you doing? Why does this keep doing that? This is being complicated. Hold on, let me mute while you talk. I'm trying to download and it's being stupid. Okay, hold on.
So it was just, I was continuously putting out fires. But I kept saying, what you and Fancy doing about talking about this case is the worst thing you can do. Don't talk about the case. Don't discuss it with no one. Don't do anything. Just keep your mouth shut. Worry about your freedom. Worry about your health. So then last night, she has the nerve to say, and this is when I decided I'm done. It's time to revisit the situation. She had the nerve to say, why could I not be understanding and respectful of her that she needed to just have laid low? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I begged you to stay quiet, begged you to stay out of people's comments, begged you to stay off panels. I had people that she was going on their panels or in their comments messaging me saying, listen, I don't want to hurt her feelings, but she's got to shut up, or she's, and I would go to her and try to talk to her about this. And you're pissing people off. They're not ready to open door, accept you yet because nobody respects a flip-flopper. And so now
she's done a lot of shitty things that she needed to be accountable for, and she wasn't wanting to do that. And people need to see that she's changed and not being who they've seen her to be. And she didn't want that to happen. It just, so there's been things that she's lied to me about. And from the very beginning. Hey, how you doing?
What are you doing?
It's not wanting to upload, and so it's making me reconfigure it. So I'm having to kind of play with it a little bit.
Okay. And it keeps instead of with the lie that we did.
Hey, how you doing? Stop it. Sorry.
This is going wonderful. So the first live we did where she come to me and said she's ready to talk. She was tired of the narrative being told by Fancy. She was ready to talk. And I said, if that's what you want, you have an account yourself, but there's not many people on that account that is in the true crime community. On my account, everyone knows I go on blocking sprees and just block everybody. I don't care. I've said it many times. I don't care. I'm not trying to build a channel. Don't do content that often. So I don't care. I said, there's no reason to do it on my account because only the people that have my same point of views is going to see it anyway. Because I don't fight with these people in the comments. I just block them. So, I'll ask Brandy about going on Brandy's account. And she's like, well, Brandy, when we talked that one time, Brandy wasn't really friendly with me and she didn't have much to say. And I said, because Brandy's very protective. I said, me and Brandy are, we're going to support each other. We're going to have each other's back over everyone. So she's seeing what was coming, or she had an inkling of what was coming. She is just very protective of me. So, of course, I had Christy and I had Stevie, and everyone was just very, you need to be careful. You need to be careful. And I went against every one of them and still showed her, tried to show her grace, tried to give her the chance again to take accountability. And she would just tell me all these stories. And I kept saying, give me receipts. Give me receipts. I can't do anything if you don't give me receipts. So she kept telling me how cruel Fancy was to her and how cruel she was. So I was like, well, if she's cruel, give me receipts. She gives me one receipt where Fancy's telling her to fuck off. and that she needs to stop right now and fuck over. She's not going to like what she has to say. But I looked on the date of it. And yes, Fancy said that, but it was when they were already fighting. So of course she's going to say those kind of things when you're openly fighting. You're going to have to show me something that you were mistreated during the time of the relationship. Show me where she cussed you and do all that stuff during the relationship, not at the end of it. And she never sent me nothing. She never sent me anything. So then we talked about the money. And I told her, I was like, before we do the swab, tell me again about the money, because I will put it out there. You got to tell me about the money. So she starts telling me about the all the money and how much money she was out. And I said, well, how much money did you get? And she told me she got $10. And I'm like, that's all you got? She said, yes, I only got $10. I had no control of all the other money. She did it all. She controlled all of it. I only got $10. And I was out 300. I hope I've got that number right. 300. And was it 300, Brandy?
Yes, because you said then you were going to say that Fancy was 150. That way it was 50-50. And then on the live, she come in and was like $500 or something like that. It was like, what? Wait. Right. And at that time, I'm sitting here with egg on my face, right? I'm going at Fancy hard. Brandy's really not saying anything to Sarah. She's not asking Sarah questions. She just gave her a platform to talk. So people are asking questions in the comments. And when somebody asks, what did you do with the $200 that Fancy gave you? I already knew the answer to that. I knew Sarah was going to say, what $200, right? So I stopped and said, okay, Sarah, somebody's asking, what did you do with the $200? And then she turns it all around and says, it goes on this spree about this $200. And I'm like, wait, she gave you $200? You only told me about the 25 or 30, I could have those numbers wrong too, that Craig made Fancy give you for gas at the end. And I was like, you never told me about any of this. It's like, I need proof. So now she's put me in this position that I got to apologize to Fancy. Right? And that's what I told her in our text message. I said, you put me in a position to go apologize to Fancy after I sat there and dragged her. You're putting me in that position. And she's like, no, I didn't. I know. I told you about this. No, you didn't. And where did it go from 300 and not being paid nothing back to now it's 500? Show me where you spent $500. I was like, because you told me that y'all had between right at $1,500. And now you're telling me that you're spending $500. And then Fancy's begging for more for a hotel on the way home. I mean, that's over $2,000. You're telling me you girls spent over $2,000 in 5 days? I don't believe that. Show me where you had to spend $500 of your own money. And she wouldn't do it. She absolutely wouldn't show me her cash out. I didn't need her banking information. I told her, take it, blot out everything that doesn't have to do with the trip, so that if I'm not sitting here with egg on my face and I'm not having to apologize to Fancy, because if I'm wrong, I don't care who it is, I'm going to tell them I'm sorry and make it right if I'm wrong. And I was wrong because she wouldn't give me, I went on her word and she wouldn't give me the proof. And her excuse why she wouldn't give me the proof was that everyone is going too far asking for her bank statements and she's just not doing it. I was like, then why did you let me talk about the money and that Fancy owed you money if that's going too far?
There are a lot of times I do love Tati's statements and things she says. She does have a really good heart. I know that there's times I got to take a step back, but then, it is what it is. You got to do that with everybody, I think, though. At some point, you got to take a step back over here. Tati, I got a source, though, that showed me something, and you might have taken things just a little bit too far. Just like you said, creators shouldn't be at each other's necks, but at the same time, you should have done your research, because I'm sure that you're figuring it out now, or you have figured it out, or whatever. So, man, you guys, it's thick on these YouTube streets over here. Actually, I should say social media streets. Who else is there? But, oh yes, the beef between fucking Naomi and Ivy Rose Knows. That's another one.
Now, Naomi, this one is to you. By the way, these videos are unfiltered in case you forgot what that looks like. So there's that. By the way, you tried to come after me. You can't win against me. You're not smart enough. You're not strong enough. You can't compare. You can't come after me. And so you think that you can go after people that are associated with me. What's the matter, Naomi? Too scared to come after me? That you gotta go after other people? 'Cause you know you can't win. How does that feel? To sit back and know that you can't beat Ivy Rose Nose. You can't beat Rebecca. You can't beat Becky. Because I will always win. I will always be the last man standing. Have fun trying though, Naomi. Bye, Naomi.
And now I've got a clip of Naomi doing the same thing.
Me. Don't you guys get tired following people that don't tell the truth? Isn't that just weird? It's weird to me. So if you're following IRK, then you don't mind the lies. You don't ask for proof. You're just okay being a sheep and just believing every little thing she says. Because I was just sent a screenshot. And I guess, I don't even know which video it was, but she put on the wording of it said something like, if it's okay to put out someone's phone number but not say their name. Did you guys ask for proof? Because I've never put out anybody's phone number or address and not said the name. There's no phone number floating out there. Did I say in my live the other night that I was gonna put out someone's phone number? Absolutely, because she won't leave me the fuck alone. She needs to go bye-bye unless she wants all of her stuff out. But I have not put out a phone number and not said a name. So what the heck is she talking about? And why is she coming at me? Because she's a bully and she knows you guys are going to make something of this. Ask for the proof. It never happened. It never happened. And I would tell you if it did. I'm not going to ruin who I am and lie. I'm telling you the truth. Ask for proof. Stop following someone who thinks you're going to believe every little thing she says. It's your choice. If you want to be that person, then be that person. But I am assuming any of my followers, any of my friends on here are not like that. It's,
creator after creator.
Okay? All right, y'all. I'm it. I am the best content creator ever. I'm the only one that can give you any facts. And so make sure that you credit me for everything I say, because the truth only comes from me. No other creator is going to give you any information. Are we for real? Are we all for real here? Let me tell you something. I want those people that follow me to go follow everybody else. There is enough room on this app for all of us to make our money, for all of us to get our views, and for all of us to be great. Why are y'all so desperate and acting greedy as hell? Y'all have followers. Y'all have people watching you for content. Now, is some of the information that I give out the same as other creators? Yeah. There's only so much information to put out there. But what makes me different? I put it out differently. We all put information out there differently. It's to what piques people's interests. How do you like the information displayed? That's what content creation is all about. How you display the content. Now, there are some creators that are more serious than others. There are some that put the information out there with nothing but pure humor and make people laugh about it. The information is going to be the same from all of us. It's just all of us put it out differently. So to sit there and act like you can only watch me, I'm the best creator out there, is nonsense. We are all putting out the same information. There's only so much information out there to go around. Okay? It's all about our delivery and what our followers like to see. That is what makes a content creator. Or to sit there and call out people and say, nobody else can give you the information. Dude, we all got the same info. We all have the same information. So to sit there and act like that and to treat your followers like that when they come to you for information is wild to me. It's wild.
You know what I'm saying? I will be honest, I don't quite know all of the lore between them two. I just know that there's some kind of beef. If you guys want to take the time to do the research on them and their beef story, go ahead. I should have looked. But I believe it's just because Naomi is kind of like a wackadoodle. And she did some wackadoodle things to Ivory Rose Nose. And Ivory Rose Nose is like me, and she won't put up with her bullshit, is what I got out of it so far. And you guys already know about this one, and that's Ivory Rose Grows Wild and the beef between her and Nina. And I know everybody's heard all about that, and you probably don't want to hear about it again. You know, like I said, I believe that Nina projects out of her having some trust issues, and she immediately just assumes things, especially about stuff coming from a southern white woman. I mean, just being honest, I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that. I'm just trying to state that I understand because of the fact that Nina is a black woman, and being a black woman, she's going to have trust issues because she's always got to be looking over her shoulder. Like she said, she's always got a target on her back. And with that being said, when she saw Ivory Rose Grows Wild's video where she was saying that she didn't quite know where she was coming from because she wasn't hearing that on the bayou, Nina took that as her calling her a liar. And it's not so much that Ivory Rose Grows Wild meant it that way, but then Nina heard it that way and then has since taken it upon herself. Not that I agree with these actions. I'm not saying that. Taking it upon herself to have her own reactions towards Ivory Rose Grows Wild. And those things, a lot of them weren't okay either. And now Ivory Rose Grows Wild, I know, isn't doing anything but making her content that she makes, and that's it. And I will stand up for her and have her back 100% on everything because I know that for a fact. And if someone's coming at her anymore, not on my watch. And there's no way that I can ever, or that Ivory Rose Grows Wild can ever understand what Nina's going through or how she feels about a situation, because we can never understand fully what it's like to be a black woman. We can understand everything else but that. You know what I mean? So it's hard for us to truly understand where she garners her trust issues from. If she got traumatized ever in her life, did that affect her? Is that why she is so quick to judge and misjudged that situation? Anyways, moving on. Ivory Rose, like I said, kept her nose clean. Now, though, this brings me to Ivory Rose Grows Wild and Bree. That was a whole other situation with Rogie and the Pew Pew and that whole lore. I did a video on it back in the day. You guys should know about it, where she drove by Krusty's house to give Krusty receipts that she lives by them. They were going off of her parents' address and saying, no, you live 40-some minutes away. They were in an argument about that. She was like, no, you're going off the wrong address. But everyone kept getting lower or wrong, whatever. What I'm trying to say is that that's a totally different thing than the whole Nina thing. But Ivory Rose Grows Wild got a lot of fucking backlash for that even. And that was coming from all of the people over here, which was stupid to me. It's just all of this content creator after content creator is, I believe, to be all the negativity that is spewing from Gypsy is headed over here, and it's affecting even us, because look at what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking crazy. And, you know, then we got the fact that Bree was on Fancies. We got like this intertwined with these people that are coming in and out of the lore.
And I think that's good. Yeah. I mean, I'm ready to go. Gypsy's going to be completely private soon. I've seen what happened. For the most part, if she wants a private Facebook, she'd love to have that. But I'm done being harassed by people.
Same. Okay, listen.
When I'm done watching, it's not just that. I think also it's like tired. It's tired, you know. Yeah. Please stop, you guys. Look, let me have this conversation with Bree. We've never got to talk like this, okay? Look, I've watched what has happened to you.
What do you mean, KJ? Like,
so don't. I'm gonna mute her. I'm gonna mute her, okay? I don't want you. Don't talk to her. Just don't even start talking to the chat.
They have no fucking idea of what my
Just
family
don't do it.
has been. Yeah, Twitter because of y'all people on the internet.
Okay, listen.
I've never
watched what's happened to you over the last year. I've seen the emotional toll it has taken on you. As a person.
No, you see,
I don't believe it. Let me finish, or I won't let you. I'll mute you. But I don't.
I'm just saying I'm not on.
No. I don't feel anybody should have had to go through whatever you've gone through this year. You have a right to be Gypsy's friend, okay? You have a right. You have a right to support her. You have a right to be her friend. You have a right to believe anything she tells you. You have all the rights to all those things. What happened is you came out so publicly, and there's a lot of things that I still believe you're misinformed on, and I think that that's okay.
What do you mean by publicly? I just made a TikTok, Fancy.
But baby, you've talked about this for over a year, and most of the things that you've said aren't based in real truth because you only get one side.
Well, we're not gonna debate about that because for me, I feel like it is, and for you, it's not. I really want to argue with you.
I don't want to argue. I'm trying to tell you I sympathize with you, and I think that you taking a step back from this and not being involved in it and just being Gypsy's true, real, offline friend is way better for either one of you.
Well, I don't even consider it a step back. I consider it a step forward. I'm done with this. Like, I mean, I feel like anybody who continues, I'm not saying like right now, but I'm saying if people are still working on this, like talking about this case a year from, like next year, a whole year from now, I think that they may need to seek help. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like eventually.
I agree.
And I know that for Fancy, for you, I know it's different. I'm talking about all these people that just jumped on it, like the last 6 months, 1 year.
I agree.
Like you have, even though I don't agree with you on everything, Fancy, I understand that you have you have a personal connection to this. I get it. Like I'm not, and that doesn't mean that I agree with everything, but that means that I at least get it. I at least get why you talk about it. Some of these people, they have no, like, I mean, how much longer are they going to try to? Some of these people are just out for money. That's all what it is. And for you, I don't think it's that. I think you have a personal opinion. Whether I agree with you or not, I don't think it's all about money for you.
If tomorrow I were to go through every piece of information with the professionals that I'm hiring to do this, legitimate professionals in a variety of different freaking fields, and they told me, hey, you've got it all wrong. Here's the truth. We can prove it to you. If that happened, Bree, then I would come out and say that.
I just want to say one thing. I am her. I'm sorry, but if anybody, no, not everybody is in it just for DD and
No.
There are people that are about money. Point blank, period.
Everybody leave her alone. Do not, chat, stop it. Stop.
If y'all knew me from me, y'all would actually like me, believe it or not. I'm not a bad person.
You were fucking funny.
Yeah, but not even just funny. Like I have a heart. I'm a person. I'm not just Gypsy's friend.
Do you want to know something, Bree? I actually was listening to you today, and you were talking about different cases. You were like, so we're going to focus on those different cases. We're not going to talk about Gypsy. You were talking about the Naziah case, and you were talking about another case, and you actually had a lot of sympathy for the victims in that, and you were actually like a very big advocate for that. So that showed me a different side of you that I've never actually heard, because
I just don't agree on this thing, and that's fine.
Actually, like, because Naziah is a real victim of what happened to her.
All right,
so that's your opinion.
You're this sad person.
So get it straight. Look, a point blank period. Look, I'm sorry. Look, when I talk about the blocks, look, people get. Look, my main account is banned right now.
He's streaming you right now, so everybody's coming over here.
I know that's just what happens. But no matter, like at the end of the day, y'all, and I'm gonna say this sincerely, like if I've ever said anything to hurt anyone, that was never my intentions. I got into this to talk about my perspective, to how I feel about it. Yes, it led with you, Fancy, but I've let off of that. Like, things that, you move on from things. And yes, and during that process, when Gypsy reached out to me and we became friends, and at the end of the day, my friendship with Gypsy's really, that means more to me than making content about her, to be honest with you. And it should. And if what I will say to everyone who wants to, say what they want to say in the comments, y'all don't know me. And if you did know me, you wouldn't feel the way you feel about me. I would say this to anyone you meet on your journey going forward, do not judge someone based off of one single day in their life. Get to know
the same could be said for you, though, too, right? Like, you can't judge like any of us, right?
Sarah, if you can't be nice, I'm not going to.
I'm not looking anymore. I'm used to it.
I don't care. It's
all this is proving my point, and that's fine. I know it's not, but it is what it is.
Like, we're just trying to have a conversation.
I know, but I don't want to ruin your lobbies. I just wanted to make sure you knew that, because this is not about you or don't vote her or anything mean or malicious. Like, it's truly not. And all I would say is I hope that some of these people rid the hate in their heart, because at the end of the day, y'all, life's not just about this. Like, there's so much more life in this, and get to know people for who they are, treat people as individuals. I made the mistake by grouping people when I first came onto this, and I'm learning a lot. I've become friends with a lot of people that are anti-Gypsy now. And guess what? That's okay, because we have other things that we agree with. Right. But anyways, y'all be well. Well, why not just say that? Thea says that. Be well.
Which is a weird thing.
No, I'm just kidding.
So that's why I don't fully trust Fancy. I can't. Because there's no fucking way that Gypsy Rose could ever do anything that would change my mind about her. So then why do you keep going back and forth, Fancy? Why is it that all of a sudden you have Bree on your fucking live and you're yelling at your own followers to shut up and leave her alone after everything she's done to people on this side? And just that was so weird. Now, with me, I agreed actually with Ken's mom, Raina, when she was on Morbid's Live, when she said that she has the ability to understand people and be able to understand both sides of a story or of a fight or whatever the case, you know. And I have that same ability. I have the ability to understand both sides, put myself in the shoes of those people and understand their perspectives and why they may have come to whatever they came to in that situation, and then either try to explain it to the other party or just have them to have somebody that understands what happened. That's why it's crazy to some people too that I have that ability, because a lot of people just don't have the ability to understand another perspective other than their own, which is weird to me, honestly. And it doesn't even have to be that I agree with one or the other. It's just I do have the ability to understand. But what I won't do for each party is be wishy-washy or flippy-floppy and be having my nose over here for a little bit. Ha ha ha, we're friends. And then having my nose over here for a little bit. I'm either over here or I'm over here. Something would have to be full of fucking receipts, you know, in order to change my mind about, especially the lore with Gypsy Rose. You know what I mean? Whoa, that would have to take a lot. Like, Dee Dee Blanchard would have to come back and be standing in fucking front of me. Well, with that being said, you guys, if you have lasted till the end of the video, I want you to put the numbers, don't write it out, but put the numbers 50, because I've lost 50 pounds on my tirzepatide. Okay, do you know what I'm saying? And nobody will know why you're saying 50. Just put 50. 50. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for loving me.
Len.
Thank you for being there.
I love you guys, and I'm sorry if it's a short one. I want to get it out because I have another great video after this, and I have a lot coming, and I'm excited. Yeah, bitch. I'm excited. Okay, let me go get this shit done. Oh, you're being stupid. Well, it's kind of my thing, you know. And I'm getting a tripod.
Bathed in your witch's brew, you get your way by charming those around you.